super excited to have Margaret Josephs. You might know her from Bravo's New Jersey Housewives. She is an author, a philanthropist, a lifestyle expert. She is just a total badass, and we are really blessed to have you here. So thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Ingrid. So excited to be here. I mean, I love that we're rebranding menopause because no one is more menopausal than me. I mean, that's what I say.
Well, the thing that we are trying to talk about is some of the ways that obviously menopause is having a moment right now. And there are people that do go on hormone replacement therapy and do all the things like the pellets, and then there are people who don't. I do think that there is a lot of misinformation that's out there. And so we would love to get your take on what you're doing personally, what's worked for you, and your take on the whole misconception.
Oh, well, first of all, menopause has had so much stigma and no one wanted to talk about it. But I was like, why aren't we talking about it? So when I started going into menopause, I was in my early 50s. I'm now 57. I got one hot flash. I was like, oh, what is going on here?
Right.
I could not take it. And I do not suffer well. I'm just going to say that right away. I cannot be sweaty. I was filming. You get sweaty in every body part that you do not even want to talk about.
Right.
You feel like you smell everything else. You have brain fog. So when I went to the gynecologist, they're like, oh, use something natural, black cohosh or something like that. I was like,
the problem.
And my gynecologist at the time, who I love very much, Wendy Hurst, and I was like, Wendy, I go, that's bullshit. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be natural. I don't want to have something that is not going to work. It takes months to work. I do not want to suffer now.
I don't have time for that.
I don't have time for this. I want to go on hormone replacement. So I originally started with the patch. And I was doing the estrogen patch, and I would have to take progesterone pills at night. You'd have to, and it did work. It worked beautifully, but I'd have to change the patch. I'd forget to change the patch. And it works beautifully for some women, but it wasn't what was right for me. And it's right for many people. So I found out about hormone pellet therapy, and I went on the pellets. They cut a little slice in your tushy, and it was, they test your blood to see where your hormone levels are. So it is custom blended for you. Mm-hmm. It's estrogen and testosterone, because women do need testosterone, and you still take progesterone at night. Right. And they do test your blood. Well, my doctor does.
How often?
My doctor wants you to test every 6 weeks to see where your levels are. So he just wants to know.
Because it changes so quickly.
It does. Just to know. Because listen, some people do manufacture differently. Is that the right word? Mm-hmm. No.
Well, they have shifts.
Metabolize it differently throughout the month. Some people have to get new pellets every 3 months. I go closer to 5 months.
Right.
So my estrogen and testosterone levels, and I take progesterone pills at night. So you don't have to remember to change your patch and all that other stuff.
Right.
And you don't feel it, by the way, when they do the incision, right?
I was just going to say an incision.
A numbing,
it's
numbing.
It's like a little tiny insertion.
It's a tiny thing. They do lidocaine. It takes 10 minutes. Right. It's so easy. It doesn't leave a scar. They change whatever side they do it on. It literally is life-changing. And I just want to say something a little graphic. I went to the gynecologist the other day because I did have spotting, because I went down, my progesterone was a little high. So, of course, at our age, 57, I was like, oh, my God, I spotted something. Could be wrong.
Sure.
I had a vaginal sonogram. Everything was fine. Everything was perfect. He did a pap smear. And it was just because I changed my progesterone dosage. It happens.
So don't be afraid if that happens.
Yeah, right. It's very common when you go on hormone replacement, if you change the level or whatever it is. He went inside, my gynecologist, because he was a little weary now of the pellets. And he was like, you know what, Margaret, whatever you're doing, you look great. The inside of your vagina looks so youthful. Not to be graphic.
Everybody wants a youthful vagina.
Your vagina is beautiful.
No, by the way, he went in there. And the reason he said that was, he said it's not easy to get the speculum in a woman of a certain age. He has to use the heavy duty grease, everything else. Mine was juicy, slipped right in. I was very happy. I said to Joe, you should be so happy. The inside of my vagina is of a young woman.
You gave him that report card, I'm sure.
I did.
Not wait
it
to
looked
open
youthful. It was supple. He said whatever. He goes, listen. He goes, I don't want to, say this to you. The gynecologist. He was almost a little embarrassed, but he was like, don't change.
You have a young vagina,
and I was very happy. Contrary to things people want to say to me on the internet, you're old, you're this, you're that. When they come with the insults, My vagina, very youthful.
My vagina is better than your vagina.
Just want to say
So
it.
I had my vagina resurfaced years ago.
Oh, did you?
And
With
it was
sandpaper?
It was a great thing.
They have that the diva that wand.
I did did the full surgery. I did the full surgery.
Tell me about that.
Well, because
Yes,
I had
tell
two
me.
children,
know
and for some
this.
reason, it wasn't looking as cute as it normally looked. And my doctor's like, if you don't like the way it looks or feels or whatever, if it's interfering with you in any way.
external, like the labia, the outer, so labiaplasty.
Right.
Oh, somebody's
So
gonna
some
get a
people
lot
look
of heat
like,
at work tomorrow
some people
over
look
this.
like elephant ears, and then you
Oh.
look like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Too
slit
much
down,
ham
and you
hanging
look
out
really
of the taco.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. And they like plumped it up. So it was like,
just
like a
looks-
little package.
Yeah, it looked beautiful.
I
Yeah.
love it. And it stayed.
And it stayed. But I mean, I haven't looked in a while, but I guess I
You
should.
had natural childbirth.
Yes,
With kids.
yeah.
So it makes sense. Yeah.
But for me, I'm not on any hormone replacement therapy, and I'll tell you, last night was such. I'm in so much pain sometimes with my body just aching, and I was watching the podcast with Mel Robbins and Dr. Mary Claire Haver, who I mean, they're like the holy grail of. Lifestyle and menopause. And they said that you can feel like you have almost like arthritis throughout your body, and that could be from your hormones. So I'm literally laying in bed last night, and I swear I looked over at my husband. I'm like, I'm getting this breast surgery, and if they find anything, and like I'm thinking in my head, I'm dying. That's how bad I felt. I'm like, I really love you, and we've had such a great time. And he goes, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah. He goes, well, how long before I can start dating after you die?
I'd just be like, don't anybody wear my clothes. That's my.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I get freaked out about. If I, God
Stop
forbid,
it.
I drop
Well, when
dead.
the handbags,
That's my worry. Like, don't
What?
anybody. I don't want anybody wearing my clothes or my jewelry. I'm
my
letting you all
handbags
the
and
time.
shoes are very important to me too.
My worry is I don't want any chin hair.
It's like that's what it is.
I have Joe knows there's going to be a note in his
Oh
pocket
my God,
that says
that
that
is
he
so
killed
funny.
me, so that they put him in jail because I don't want him with anybody else. I don't want anyone in
Really?
my house. I don't know.
That's what my cousin Melissa, who's our
going to
production
jail.
assistant,
The
just
note's
said,
gonna
don't
say
go in
he
my
did it.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Her kitchen is
You
her.
guys are
Yeah.
easy. Wow.
No, mine is all my design stuff. That's what I don't want. I'm very covetous
Sure.
of those things. Everything else is like, ugh.
Yeah. Don't wear my
So they
clothes.
can have the husband, but not the clothes.
Clothes, my interior design pieces, those type of things.
But your Joe, from what we see,
Yes.
would move on.
I
could
just
tell
feel
you
like
that.
at this
Seems like such a
point, at
sweet-
Am I
his
right?
age,
Lexi, am I right?
at
could
this
never. He
at this
adores
at
you.
this age, I feel like even if
could see
something
it.
happened to him, I don't even think I could.
Yeah,
at this
feel the
point,
same
I feel like
way.
I could see that.
I've been with enough men in my life. I could
Me
be
too.
at this
I
point.
haven't.
You haven't.
No, I'm kidding.
I've been with some. I
really
mean, I
haven't.
get a lot. And then I just feel like at this point in my life, I could be single and be happy,
Me too. Me too.
Sure.
have a full
too.
life without a man.
Like
Comfortable bed,
nothing makes me
Netflix,
happier
my
than when
pets,
I'm with my
but-
girlfriends.
Yes.
And I could be sitting with them on a couch watching TV. All of us, if we go away, like we have a little place in Southold, nothing makes me happier than breakfast and
full.
coffee
Yeah.
and like, my girls. Right, Mel? One time.
Well, you say you're going to do that, but then everyone gets together.
No,
and
but it
everyone's,
is true. When you're together with your girls, it's a great feeling. And this is why we started this podcast, because menopause is mostly shared with women that you love and care about and trust, right? You're not going to just talk to anyone about it, but it's mainly, discussed amongst us. And this is how we get the word out. And this is how we want this not to be a taboo subject, right?
Yes, I think there's been a lot of shame around menopause for years. It was like a dirty little secret.
because it meant you're getting old.
Yes,
Like, that's
and-
how people perceive it.
Yeah,
which is wrong.
And no one wanted to talk about it. And it's not old. It's like midlife, and it's just a fact of life. And we have to. It's just something to be managed. It's
Right.
It's
Something to be managed. That's
Something
really
to
great.
be managed.
yeah.
That's
it's
really
just
great.
it's not a big deal. It's like taking vitamins.
And even men need to address it when they go through it, right? So men need testosterone. Don't they get replacement?
Yes, men get testosterone replacement. Things happen with them. I mean, look at all the commercials for years that had Viagra commercials.
Right.
For years, there was no shame in it, but there was nothing for women.
Right.
Nothing.
Now there's going to be, right? The little pink pill, supposedly.
What's
Maybe we need to
what's
get them on
what's
here.
the pink pill?
I just heard that in the news. There's something coming out. It's called the little pink pill.
Did you
And
hear
what is it
about
going
And
to
I'm
do?
going to
Improve-
overdose on
Okay,
it.
what is it? Yes. What is it going to do? Improve orgasm?
Improve your libido and your sex life. And yeah.
Now, by the way, if you're on hormone replacement and you get the testosterone in the pellets, you do have a much better libido.
It does that for you.
It does. It
and your
pumps it
husband,
up.
I'm sure, happy, right?
Yes, he's totally happy with it. Yeah, I feel like because I went on it right away, it didn't affect me that much.
So you were just streamlined. You
I was just
kept
streamlined.
it going.
I kept it going. I went and get right into it.
Right.
It's fine. Joe kicks because we work out of the house. He kicks people out of the house, so we have time for sex. But I can't be. I don't know about you girls, but I can't be squeezed after a meal. There's no sex
Oh,
at night in my
no.
house.
Oh, God, no.
Nope.
There's no squeezing me after
Has
dinner.
got to happen before dinner for me.
Yes. Same
Yes.
thing with me.
And not late at night.
Not late at
I'm
night.
tired.
I'm
No,
a morning
me
person,
morning
too.
sex for me.
Oh, see,
same.
I'm morning.
I'm morning,
I have a
too.
window. I have a very specific window.
In the morning.
No, it has to be in the morning. It would have to be late morning after coffee. It can be before dinner, but it can't be after a meal.
Yes.
My poor husband. I'm
Yes.
sorry,
You sound like
Jeff.
you're at the diner you're ordering dinner.
I have a window. It's a good window. I
All
mean,
right.
once we get in the
At
window,
least
it's
you
good,
have a window.
but I
At
have a
least it's
window.
not broken.
The window's not broken.
Yes,
Absolutely
no,
not broken.
that's important. I think that is happen as women get old. There comes a certain time. It's like we're not having sex after dinner.
Oh
Absolutely.
my God.
Yeah,
I
is that
love
not
it.
true for you?
I love it.
Why, do you have
no, I
sex
don't like
after
to
dinner?
have sex after dinner.
Right, who
No.
wants it? Men do though.
No,
Men do.
Joe
Men will
doesn't.
have
Joe
sex
doesn't
at
wanna
any
be serious
time
after
and
dinner.
any
Evening's
place.
romantic. It's good.
You'll go after dinner?
Yeah, it could be very romantic.
She eats
so.
light, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, because
Oh,
she
that's
doesn't
so
eat.
good.
Look
Well,
at her.
that's a Manjaro
When you eat a
thing, so
carrot,
that's
it's
a
okay to have sex
conversation.
after dinner.
No, me, I still can't eat, and I'm on drugs too, and I can't have sex after
I
dinner. I'm too tired. I think I get tired.
I get tired after.
I can't whip out the stops.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm
it's
saying?
just-
What about, oh, wait, you don't drink either, but I'm saying after an espresso martini, yeah, you might want.
Oh, but then you're up all night, and then you're tired the next
then
day.
that
Oh my
really
gosh.
messes-
Okay, wait.
We
So
have to
guys,
talk about
let's
that.
talk about this. So New Year's Eve is upon us,
Yes.
right? And that's another really big subject in the menopause and perimenopause world, how your drinking alcohol affects you differently once you're in menopause and perimenopause.
There's
Absolutely.
a list.
There's a list.
Tell me about that, since I don't drink alcohol, and we're going to go into that after. But
It
tell me.
messes with your sleep. It absolutely increases blood flow, so that's why you can't sleep, because now you're like wide awake. And then it also it gets that brain fog going even worse, right?
Oh my
So,
God,
yeah,
I don't
forget
even
it.
know who
Now-
you are
Yeah,
after that.
and
I can't
mood
drink.
swings. So mood swings are totally exacerbated by alcohol.
Yeah.
So
and
that
when
I know.
I go out and I drink alcohol now, my face gets rosacea, right?
Right.
So I am a big reapplier. So I tell my girlfriends, don't let me reapply too much because I'll go in the bathroom and keep
Yeah, but you almost can't
reapplying.
cover
And then when
that.
I come out, I look like a whore from, I don't
Because
know.
you really can't cover that when you're red from wine
No.
like that because of rosacea and
you also
menopause.
feel
Right,
might as well
please.
go home. It's
Right.
bad.
The burn
It's time
that's
to go
red like
home.
Margaret's
from
pants,
rosacea.
not good.
Right? You get that burn, that hot
Yeah.
feeling in your skin with rosacea.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Oh,
now
okay.
we also have a lot of different mocktails and
Yes.
cocktails and
Yes.
drinks. So tell
Yes.
us.
Okay, so that's true. I never drank alcohol. I grew up with a mother that, was quite the cocktailer. So I never developed a taste for alcohol. And I'm on a show with people who do drink a lot. And I was like, what am I going to drink to party with everybody? I can't believe I didn't bring Soiree here, but we'll flash a little picture.
We know
It's
it
very
in love.
good.
You
It's
know,
very
yes.
good.
Jay, can you flash a little soiree?
Ding. Okay, there it is. Soiree right there. So Lexi and I created a mocktail line called Soiree about 1.5 years ago. So everyone could party together. So you could use it as a mixer or you could drink it straight. It's low in sugar. It's vegan. It's gluten-free. It's kosher. It's everything.
And it tastes good.
And it
Covered
happens to
everything.
taste good.
Delicious.
And I love it. My favorite flavor happens to be the Cool Breeze, which is cucumber, mint, elderflower, and lychee. But it is interesting to so many people and myself that everyone's sober curious now, because I always didn't drink and it didn't really, I never thought anything of it. But I think there is a movement to people being more health conscious. They're drinking less or choosing not to drink. I don't know if it's because everyone's doing mushrooms.
I think that's what it is.
Dry January.
That's what it is.
You think
Yeah.
everyone's doing mushrooms?
Yes.
I think you can't do mushrooms and drink.
No, you can't.
think that's
that's
what
what I
it
was
is.
told, but I would like to try it.
I'm afraid
I
of
didn't even-
everything.
I
I'm
am
afraid to
too.
try anything. It's terrible. I never drank.
That's
I was
true.
so
You're not a
boring.
drinker, which
I'm
is
not
good.
trying anything.
I don't.
I'm
I've
too
never tried
afraid.
drugs because, God forbid, like, could you imagine this one died and over a one night snort of cocaine.
No,
like,
no, no,
oh my
no
God.
cocaine these days. I mean, this is not the 80s when it was safe and fun. No, we can't. No,
It's so
which is true.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How the hell did you get through New Jersey Housewives with no drinking?
It was, it's very interesting that you say that. I had to be lucid because I have to realize what's going on. I mean, it's not always easy. I mean, a lot of times I'd go home and I had to be lucid to like remember things. That's why people would get annoyed with me, because I remember everything that's been said. Right. I can recall any moment. And then a lot of the girls would have excuse. Well, I was drunk. That's not an excuse. Right. I think being drunk is a lot of truth serum involved in being drunk. So, it was not that hard for me. I mean, but listen, sometimes I'd have to go home and take to the bed. I'm not going to lie. I mean, sometimes I was like, this is insane. But I rather be, maybe it's a control issue. It's like I'm a control freak. But I don't like the way it feels either.
Right.
I've had drinks. I get such a horrible headache. I love the taste of a dirty martini because the olive juice is so salty. I've tasted one. I wake up so violently ill in the middle of the night, like such a headache. So it's not worth it to me.
Right.
I like to feel good. I don't want to ever feel that I'm incapacitated. I don't like to feel checked out.
Right.
That's my thing. I don't want to feel checked out. I want to be present and in the moment.
And on that note with the Housewives, do you feel that on some of the episodes, some of the, interactions we've seen, that there are some of the Housewives that really should be looking at hormone replacement therapy and no matter where?
Yes.
She like flipping tables might indicate that you have
I think a lot of women,
and not in a bad way.
The one thing I love about Housewives is most of the women are of a certain age, our age. And it celebrates women of a certain age and things that we've gone through. And that's the beauty of it. Right. Because life isn't over.
No.
After 50 or starting in your late 40s where, years ago women were, condemned and, it's over, we're expired and everything else. This celebrates women of a certain age. Mm-hmm. But also, yes, I think some women have to benefit from hormone replacement on our shows for sure.
Sure.
Without a doubt. Because I think it does... when your hormones drop just naturally, look at like when you're pregnant, you have a hormone surge.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when you have your baby, the hormones drop down and women get, have postpartum and all of these things, it's hormone related. So your hormones really do affect you. So as you age and you're not getting your period anymore, of course that's going to affect your emotional state and the way you feel. So it only makes sense. There's nothing wrong, to replace that.
Right. It's like a forgotten stage of life.
Yes.
Excuse me. Because everything you just said, when we're young, we're getting our period, everyone's talking about it. Then you're trying to get pregnant and everyone's conscious of the hormones and the timing. You have your baby, postpartum, every stage of hormones for women. And then all of a sudden we get of a certain age and it's like, oh no one can talk about it. Life is over. You're expired.
Yes, and that's what it is.
Yes,
and I think
we're breaking the cycle. There's definitely no question.
It is break.
It is a cycle when you think about it, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right. It's like, even as much as, I know you guys know, I talked to my mother. I know what she had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And, my husband calls it coffee with Connie in the morning, 7:00 every morning. And as open as we are, she would just say, this is something you have to go through naturally and don't go on any hormone replacement. And she's a very smart woman. She's very beautiful. And she's always taking care of herself. And she even had the wrong information. And I know she would never steer me wrong in a million years, but that's the way she grew up. And she had, 10 brothers and sisters. And I said to her yesterday, I'm like, Mom, what did Nanny say to you about menopause? And she said, no one ever spoke about it. No one ever spoke about it.
My mom, too, the same exact thing. And my mom is educated. All the things that you said about your mom, she's beautiful. Dr. Karolak, she was one of his first patients. When he was practicing back in Florida. And so 20 years later, I say, here's my mom who I've talked to her and said, Mom, what'd you go through? And she still to this day says, I didn't go through menopause. And I say, Mom, come on now.
But is it?
I really didn't. I didn't have any symptoms. And I go, okay, Mom. So we just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah.
But my grandmother,
let
the
her
same
think
thing.
that.
We didn't talk about it. It was just something that they got through
right.
one way or another.
I think they just
but
accepted it.
Yeah,
like they just accepted it.
But also, if you think about women that just accepted it back in the day, they weren't doing the shit that we're doing. I mean, think of us at our age, like honest to God, and I'm not just trying to blow smoke up my own ass, but right now I feel I'm at the pinnacle of my career. Yep. I am confident. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks.
I am with you.
I am so good with myself. and I've
many were
never
still
felt like
homemakers
this.
back then.
Well,
you know,
well,
it was a big
also just think
difference.
the Golden Girls were our age.
Yeah.
And look what they
No.
look like. Yes.
Yes.
Let's just Google
What?
how
How do
old
you
were
say
the
that
Golden
again?
Girls.
I love when someone says that.
Yes.
So the whole point is look at what women used to look like.
The evolution.
The evolution of women, and that's really what it is. And women nowadays look absolutely amazing in their 50s. Right. They hit their stride. They're still sexy. They're still attractive. Our skin quality is better. We've maintained ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're
And I
also,
think-
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
you.
go ahead.
I was going to say we're also out of the house now, working, having careers where back then they were homemakers. They were taking care of the kids. Then the kids got big, and like, you know, you were kind of looked at as old.
And there was no internet.
It was
They
different.
had less information.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So their information they got was from their doctor and their small circle of girlfriends.
Yes.
That were also not working, that were homemakers. And so, but there were, we talked about this on the first podcast, there was that 1% of women who maybe they lived in Manhattan, maybe they were a little more global, a little more savvy.
worldly.
And more
They-
and wealthy. Let's just say
it
it.
was about money, right?
Yeah.
Discretionary
Yes, it
money.
is.
They were getting medication from some of their doctors who were, again, a little more savvy. They had access.
Premarin,
So
many years
Premarin
ago.
was very, very widely used, and so it was about access too.
It's true, but the one thing years ago why they thought hormone replacement and there was misinformation gave you cancer was because they weren't giving you progesterone.
Right.
And they were just giving you estrogen. And the most important thing is to take progesterone with estrogen.
And it was based on one doctor.
It was based on
Yes.
one study with
One
women
study.
in their 60s.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And the blood work was not as extensive. They weren't balancing things.
Right.
The hormones need to be specifically balanced
I
for
asked
you.
my doctor who I get my pellets from. He's like, you could take this, well into your 70s, 80s.
Absolutely.
I don't plan on stopping.
Right. Why would you ever stop?
Why would I ever stop?
Yeah,
Why
you should
would
never
you?
stop.
They're also saying the GLP-1s, what we're on, is life-changing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I'm reading
let's
so
go
much
there.
about that.
Oh,
Because
so many
I say
benefits.
if you took away, now I don't want to lose any more weight, but if you took away my GLP-1, I'd rather you take my finger off because I feel so much better, and it's not even about losing weight. It has done something to my body, and
right.
and before that, I knew something was wrong. I kept going to my doctor, and I'm like, I am not myself. I want to feel like myself, and I don't want that excuse. Okay, you're getting older. That's BS. I can feel good. There's something wrong. And whatever is in that GLP-1.
Well, there's a hormone in the Manjaro,
Yes.
right? So
Right.
It's, and the semaglutide, I take
Right.
the compounded, whatever.
Did your hot flashes when you lost the weight and when you went on the Manjaro also they minimized?
Yes.
Mine did too.
Yeah.
So it was like, this is a miracle drug.
When
and
you're at a healthier
helps with
weight.
brain fog too.
Yes.
It does.
But also, the one thing that really infuriates me, like I went to the premiere of the M Factor film, Tamsin Friedell's M
Yes.
Factor film. It infuriates me that women, half of the population should have access to this medication. There is no reason why, because you have money, that you should feel good when you get to a certain age. It makes me so mad because you look at the mom that's, trying to the single mom, feed her kids and put them through school and everything else. And how is she
Why
affording
shouldn't she have
all of
access?
this? How is
That's
she
right.
affording and the progesterone and the testosterone? It shouldn't be a privilege to have this. It shouldn't
No,
be.
it
That
should-
goes for so many medications, though. I mean,
It's
that's such a
true.
bigger conversation. There are so many medications that people should have access to that they just simply
No,
don't.
it should be, a lot of things should be covered by health insurance.
Yeah.
And and the GLP-1s is, are reducing stroke, heart attack, all different things like that. They're saying it's reducing the chance of getting dementia. So they should be giving it to
a
people.
miracle medication.
It is
It
a
is.
miracle medication. I spoke to someone the other day, and someone who doesn't prescribe a doctor, he's like, it should be in the water supply.
Well, maybe it will one day.
I know. Could you imagine? It's like it keeps everybody. No, because to have your insulin levels even throughout your whole life is very, very important.
Right. It couldn't be harmful. When people say, oh, that's going to harm you down the road. And I always, my response is the same thing because my insulin is regulated.
Yes.
So isn't that what they do for someone who's diabetic?
Yes.
So just explain that to me. Like,
Wegovy for everyone.
I know. No, they say a lot of things, but I think it's much more harmful to be yo-yo dieting, not having your insulin levels even, and that they're saying it cures so many things. I mean, women are even getting pregnant on it.
Wow.
Because they had polycystic ovaries. They're giving it to people with polycystic ovaries.
Incredible.
They're also going to give it for addiction.
Yes.
Oh, addiction. Let me tell
I
you,
have a
because
girlfriend who stopped drinking.
I stopped drinking a lot on it. And
drinking.
also I was a social smoker. And I would say a little bit more than a social smoker, right?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But the thought of even having a cigarette makes me physically ill.
So what's interesting is I would truly say, and I was never heavy, but I was up to 152 pounds at 5'3". That's a lot. And I really believe food was an addiction to some degree.
Absolutely.
Oh, I had a bad day. I need something sweet. Now I need something
1000%.
salty. It felt like an addiction. I would come home and be excited to have something to eat or be planning my meal, my dinner right after lunch.
Me too. I was the exact same way.
So how could it not work for addiction? Because it takes away that desire.
1,000%.
Right?
If
Yeah,
you put
that
a pack of
craving.
Oreos in
I
front of
crave
me,
healthy food
it's
now.
done. It's over. Thin Mints, a pack of Oreos, a bagel. A bagel. Oh my God.
Oh God, I still eat a bagel.
I eat a bagel.
I
once
love
in
a
while. I can't
bagel.
eat
In the
fried.
morning, I
But
can
can you
eat a
eat the
bagel.
whole
I
thing?
could eat a
Or
bagel.
you
No,
half?
I don't eat the whole bagel, but it's
Eat
or
the
if you
whole
d-
damn
if you do
bagel.
you don't feel
want
like
it.
you need the whole
Right.
bagel.
You don't
Right.
feel like you need the whole
You don't feel like you have
Whereas
to eat the whole
in the
bagel.
past, you would have said like, I should eat the whole thing because it's there. It's right in front of you, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
For taste.
It's
It's like satisfying.
and then you could eat really whatever you want, but you just don't finish everything.
I crave healthy food now.
Me too.
I crave anything that has protein in it. I can't
too.
eat fried food. If
Me
you
too.
say to me, would you like some whatever that's fried, I'll look at it and I literally can't even look at it.
Yeah.
Had that happen? Never happened.
I don't know. That
before.
never happened to me.
well, I
even on
could still eat a
GLP-1.
McDonald's French fry. I'm not gonna lie. That I could
I
still
eat French
do.
fry, but deep fried, like things that are deep fried, I it's almost like an aversion to it. Like I look at it and I'm just like,
Yeah.
right? Do you feel the same?
Absolutely. And it's definitely an effect from the medication.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know we're very blessed.
We
that,
are very
you know?
blessed. We are very blessed. But we
And-
hope things will change in the new year.
Right, and you
right?
talked
Yes.
about, women about, we always want to bring into it that, it's not that you have to be able to afford Mounjaro or Ozempic because now they have Zepbound. Zepbound is the off-label use medication for Mounjaro, and it's very inexpensive, very
So it's
affordable.
the generic, right?
Right.
Generic.
That's what I'm
Mounjaro
on.
for
I'm on the
weight loss.
Zepbound.
Yeah,
Which is
Zepbound,
amazing.
It's affordable.
Yeah.
So
And there's all these other things that have popped up too, other things online that have, Lexi, don't kill me. What's that company? Oh, Enhance MD. Enhance MD. I think it's $239 a month. And they'll give you a prescription.
Oh, really?
Yes. All these online
Enhance
telehealth.
MD.
right.
No,
And it's so easy.
all these telehealths that are working with people that they can get them the medication for
Right.
weight loss.
Mine's telehealth. So he started telehealth because I went to a bariatric specialist. Always had a diet doctor because of the weight issues, especially with menopause. COVID forced him into telemedicine, and he has stayed there. So now he has Monday, Fridays, and it's so easy for the patient. So it makes so much sense for our lifestyles, and it does cut the cost down.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is
So
great.
make it
Which is
affordable.
it's affordable.
Make it
Like all these telehealth places
Yeah.
are popping
It
up.
is. It's a blessing. Even therapy, online therapy. Well, that's a whole other segment. But
No, that's important
But-
for mental health.
yes, because
100%.
I know a lot of people who don't like to go in person. They're too busy to go in person, and the telehealth, mental health
Makes it more
services
readily available.
are life changing.
That's great.
It's very important.
Yeah.
We have to take the stigma away from all these things, especially
Absolutely.
mental health.
And you know what? They all tie in because as we get older and we get the mood swings, the hormones deplete, we get more irritable, and sometimes you feel like you're going crazy. And then people around you, maybe in your household, not mentioning any names, that will make you feel like you're crazy because you're not as easygoing or you're irritable,
as you are.
So yeah, that's really helpful.
Yeah,
to
my
have someone
son
to-
said to me last night, he goes, I just want to let you know you're a 5 out of 10. And I said, what do you mean I'm a 5 out of 10?
You're level 5.
He goes, 5 out of 10 times I enjoy being around you.
Oh, I thought your mood was 5 out of 10.
I'm like, thanks, Jack. All right. On that note, we are going to wrap this up. It is New Year's Eve-ish, and we will see you in 2025. Thank you so much, Margaret.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Yes, Happy New
Year.
Year.
Thanks for having me.
happy and healthy.
York. I'm Harvey, proud owner of Optics and veteran in the eyewear industry. Consider this. Why would someone have a closet full of shoes but only a few pair of glasses when eyewear is the only accessory that completely changes the way you look, feel, and the way you're perceived? At Optics, Cartier, Chanel, Dior, Lindbergh headline our extensive collection of luxury eyewear. Our opticians are trained to style and fit your face to ensure that when you leave Optics, your friends will be wondering where you shop.
Hi friends, this is Dana Persico from Long Island Nail, Skin and Hair Institute. The Institute is not only the premier venue for licensing and certification for beauty professionals in Long Island as well as New York State. You can receive beauty treatments specifically for anti-aging, facials, body treatments, laser hair removal, hydrofacial. Our senior students are working in the spa. They are happy to get any of our guests ready for this special event located in Bethpage, New York at 1055 Stewart Avenue.